This video is in reference to the dispute template. Here you have in the header the section for the date. So month, day, year. Anything with brackets does need to be modified and updated to reflect your client name or your program or your service, whatever it is that you provided. And then of course the way in which that was provided. So if you don't do work online, perhaps you do consulting or contract work in person, then update that accordingly. Your business name, or if you don't have a registered business, whatever you are marketing or advocating for on the front end. So if you don't identify as an organization, you can remove the word organization and you can put the words my, company, under, and then your full name. Has documented all of our conversations with, and then again, update the client name and so forth. So the part that is the most relevant, especially if this is going to be provided as a response to validate that you did provide deliverables, your service, your consulting, your coaching, etc., to a client who has potentially filed a chargeback or a dispute, and you know it to be fraudulent because you delivered or fulfilled on the promise, then right here in this section where there are boxes, you'll want to update and edit the dates, as well as insert any call recording information such as Zoom links or any information that's going to be relevant to validate and prove your case when you respond to the payment processor. Payment processor being specifically Stripe, PayPal, or any other type of processor that may be the one responsible for handling the funds or the transaction. Any of these rows or parts of the table that you don't need, you're more than welcome to delete or remove those. This is more than sufficient to provide to the payment processor. A word of advice that I want to provide before ending this video is that this does make your case, but you definitely want to take the time to not only edit this section here on the very first page, but ensure that if you have had conversations via DM, Slack, WhatsApp, anything like that that is a screen recording, make sure to update those recordings into a Google Drive that is associated with this client or the dispute case specifically, and that the ability for whoever clicks on the link to access those assets is easily available. So for example, if these are recorded calls that you are providing via Zoom, make sure that you don't have privacy settings where somebody would need the password or the passcode. The less friction or difficulty or decreased barrier of entry that you create for individuals to review the evidence, the increased probability or likelihood you will have that if it is in fact reviewed very thoroughly, every single resource, asset, recording, etc., that you've done your part to prove your case and be as transparent as possible. One last thing on that note. If a person has filed a dispute or a chargeback, is not responsive to you and or has blocked you, and you communicated previously by WhatsApp, by DM, and so forth, one of those methods, it would be in your best interest to go take a recording or a screen recording of the very beginning of this type of interaction, correspondence, to prove that that person did approach you or did express interest in your service, your coaching, your consulting, your freelance work, etc. You negotiated the terms and agreed, and it is not without their permission that they were charged indeed.